I can't really predict what will happen, and it's really difficult to figure out how AI will roll out. But for sure, the next decade will be shaped by the rise of AI.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to DevCat Studios' Localizing Ideas podcast series. Hi, Wissam, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Rita?
I'm fine, thank you. So our topic for today is ChatGPT and AI.
Yes.
I will start with my first question. We've been hearing a lot about ChatGPT and AI lately. What is it and what is the hype all about?
ChatGPT is a game changer. Okay. Well, I've actually asked ChatGPT this question. I've asked ChatGPT, what are you about? So, it's interesting the way, it's interesting how ChatGPT engages with you. Okay, although it's an AI and a non-human entity, but it's very interesting. So I asked it the same question and gave me a response. So ChatGPT is an AI-powered conversational language model developed by OpenAI, capable of generating human-like responses to text-based inputs. Trained on a massive dataset, it uses deep learning algorithm to understand and respond to diverse topics. It can answer questions, engage in small talk, and generate creative writing. Okay, this answer you might find on Google, let's say, but keep in mind this has been generated by an AI, okay, by ChatGPT. I took it a little bit further. I asked ChatGPT to take that same answer and to sum it up in 3 sentences.
And what did you get?
ChatGPT is an AI language model developed by OpenAI. It uses deep learning to generate human-like responses to text input. It can answer questions, engage in small talk, and generate creative writing. And it did that in 3 seconds. Then I went a little bit more further. I thought, okay, how can we explain ChatGPT to a toddler? Both you and I have toddlers now. So I asked ChatGPT to create a lullaby about ChatGPT.
It did?
It did in 3 seconds. Well, the verse 1 of the lullaby: ChatGPT, dear AI, your knowledge is so vast. Answers we seek, you bring them with class. Your words like a lullaby, soothing and wise. Sleep tight, dear ones, ChatGPT by your side. Then it gave me a chorus to this lullaby. Lullaby, ChatGPT, our friend so bright. Lullaby, we sleep easy with you tonight.
Are we using this now for them to sleep?
I don't know, but imagine, this could go on forever, right? So,
Yeah.
and I've been experimenting. This is just, I've been preparing the answers for this episode. But I've been experimenting with it for a while now and trying multiple different things. Like, let's say I've asked it to give me, to write me a script. I inputted a few information about types of characters, and I asked it to write me the script in a certain style, and it does that. I've asked it to create diet plans for me. I've asked it to create original food meals and recipes and whatnot, and many things. Whatever comes to my mind. I've spent hours trying this, and it's really impressive what ChatGPT can do. Now, yes, there's a lot of if you want feedback that ChatGPT doesn't give you accurate responses. Yes, okay, or maybe false information. Yes, true, that happens, and it's limited to data sets up to 2022, I guess. No, 2021. I'm not sure. I forgot what was the date. And it's not connected to the data today on the internet. So, but still, it's very impressive on what it can do, especially when dealing with creative content and copywriting and text-based content. It's a very powerful and scary application. And ChatGPT is just one AI powered conversational language model. There are many that are coming soon or that exist already. Google is working on one. Apparently it's a game changer. So all of a sudden we wake up, and I mean, us as the average Joe, we wake up and we look at ourselves and say, oh, what's going to happen? But developing AI has been happening for quite a while now. Since I was back in university, that's 20 years ago, been tackling these topics about AI and what it could do to us in the future.
We're seeing the results now.
And now it's becoming very realistic. So, very real, not realistic. So, I would assume if you ask ChatGPT to, maybe we should do that experiment to create a podcast with two people, it could probably do it better than us. what we were doing today.
We can try this.
So yeah, it's one hell of a thing, and the next decade will be really transformative. AI will transform the next decade, which raises a lot of questions.
We should wait and see.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Okay, so before we get to that, where do we go from here? Let's just put it in context. AI. Let's put AI in context. Make it relevant to what we do.
Okay.
Our line of business, which is creative content and localization and production and all of that. There are other AI that are equally powerful at generating, at transforming text to speech, right? The earlier version of text to speech AI was very basic. It sounded like a robot. But today, you can really have very decent text to speech VO that you cannot, make the difference between it and a real human. Other AI are incredible at creating imagery and 3D imagery and 3D-like face models. So you look at it, you don't know if it's real or fake. It looks like a real person with the details and the quality and all of that. And it does that in like a fraction of a second. Maybe not a fraction of a second, but in a short time. Also, other application is, we just tackled that, text-based AI like ChatGPT. So if we take all of these three and we combine them together, you can basically today ask an AI to create a script, ask an AI to generate a VO for that script, and ask an AI to generate a real person-like figure that can, perform the VO of that script. And all that's done behind the computer with no resources required. One person can do all of that. Which leads me to my next point, and the big elephant in the room. Would ChatGPT and AI render us obsolete at one point? Like, us as service providers would be will people or clients still need our services? This question has been haunting me for quite a bit now, and the short answer to that, I know you should be asking me this question, but I asked it to myself a while ago, and the short answer to that, I think, is, and I'm convinced now, that yes, it will render us or render our services obsolete. At least a big chunk of what we do will be covered by AI. For example, translation. It will get better and better and better and better with AI, and then we will no longer need translators.
Yeah.
Copywriting, creative copywriting, coming up with copy for ads, coming up copy for SEO and all of that. Can AI do that? Probably. Can it do it soon? Yes. Will it get better? Definitely.
Yeah, of course.
So VO, can AI do that? Yes, probably. It's doing it already. Maybe not in Arabic yet, but it's just a matter of time, you know. Design, there already, AI software out there that can create, sets of design and adaptation to social media and different types of, aspect ratios and different formats in a click of a button. You just input a few things and that's it. It will definitely change in 10 years. It will get better and better, and it will render most of the stuff that we do, I believe, to render it obsolete.
Okay, so Wissam, where do we go from here?
Well, okay, I can't really predict what will happen, and it's really difficult to, figure out how AI will roll out. But for sure, the next decade will be shaped by the rise of AI, okay? And for non-tech companies and creative companies like ourselves, it will be primordial to adopt it and learn how to adapt in this new era. And at least try to adopt the best of what AI can offer to us, okay? And we have to come at peace with ourselves and say, it's a fight that, okay, maybe yes, maybe AI will render most of our services obsolete, but it could be an opportunity for us to rethink our service offering. And if we early on learn how to coexist with AI and make use of it to produce better outcomes, we have to do that. Okay, we're lucky. We're still youngish, and we have the time to understand. Although it's quite something to grasp, but we have the capacity to understand and adapt to AI. The older generation, I think it will just, imagine a business owner who's 60 years old, learning to do things now. 60 years old that have been doing things the same way for decades. It will be extremely difficult to adopt AI. For us, it might be simpler. But we have to keep up with technology and try to understand it. Understand how we can use it to our advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
But here's the trick, okay? We are a people's business, okay? So what we do is, driven by emotions, and it's driven by human connections, and it's very difficult for AI to replace that, okay? I don't see AI at one point being able to create this connection that we're having today, or to bring forward certain types of emotion, or really bring forward empathy. These are things that is very difficult for AI to do. And also something I've read lately, you have to keep in mind the human brain runs on 12 volt. I don't know. The energy it takes to be creative compared to AI and the energy it needs to run, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Humans are always going to be needed.
Yeah.
But what is the need that will be required from them? This is the question. To each industry, it's a big question. For us, It's definitely something related to emotions and empathy and human connections and all of that. Other businesses like accounting, I would say, maybe that would be,
There's nothing left to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to my father-in-law last time, who is a doctor, about AI and about ChatGPT and all of that. And I told him that, healthcare providers will become, obsolete maybe even quicker than us, the creative service providers. He told me, how so? I told him, okay, how many years of experience have you got as a doctor? He told me maybe 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Told him, great, 30 years. Fantastic. How many patients do you have? He told me maybe 2,000-3,000 over all of these years. Told him, great, fantastic. Do you know that now with the AI and the interconnected data, the healthcare system, now they're all interconnected, and they have connected their data sets together about all the patients. So do you know that AI now can come and tap into those data sets that are made out of decades and decades and decades of information? And if it was to give you a diagnosis, wouldn't you say that an AI would give you a better diagnosis than your diagnosis that is based on 30 years of experience, as opposed to an AI which gives you a diagnosis that is based on hundreds of thousands, millions of data sets and millions of patients and algorithms that can give you percentages of risk factors and all of that, and it will give it to you like that. So there's no competition. However,
you're taking it to the extreme.
I am not taking it to the extreme. It's just just wait a couple of years, and then making an operation. So if a robot, they already use robot today in surgeries. So imagine robot has access to all of this data sets at the same time, with no room for error, because it's a robot. It can't jitter or do anything. So success rates will become better and better. However, one thing is missing is the human factor. So as humans, we still need that guidance from a doctor, a real human that can tell us, don't worry, everything will be okay.
I can see psychologists surviving all of this.
Yes, you know who will survive? Psychologists, people who the alternate medicines, people that give spiritual healers and yoga instructors and all of that, that deal more with the human aspect. Plus, a doctor will learn, how to build these human connections better. The empathy is very important. The comforting aspect of the doctor is very important. Giving the information to the patient in a nice and comforting way. I think that's the role of the doctor. This is what the role that they will play in the future. And see the sweet halum majura, like they say in Arabic. Everything will be disrupted, and it's scary.
It's taking over all the industries.
It's scary. Yeah, it's very scary. So what do we do in the next decades? Definitely we have to start rethinking our model today, so that we know how we can localize the AIs of the future.
Yeah, I can see there's a lot of work to do. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed our topic for today, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye-bye.